He's a very, very special guest. We haven't seen him since a long time on YouTube, on all these podcasts. So it is such a huge blessing to have you, Father. Welcome.
Yeah, Father.
Father Anthony.
Good to see you, Father.
Yeah, always lovely to see you.
It was good to be with you.
So, Father, we have your story in many different videos online, but if you can summarize it for us in about 5 minutes to start for the audience that is getting to be introduced to you, and then we can move on with the rest of it.
Father, I think the most important features are three. One is that I was, for many years, not a Christian. I was an atheist. I was extremely articulate as an atheist. I was arguing constantly with my students. I was teaching in the university, lecturing English and philosophy, and I was presenting a case for a direct, self-directed life without any reference to any authority at all. And this ties into another part of my life, which was political. I was a Marxist. I was a member of the Fourth International Working Men's Association. This was a continuation of the communism of Lenin, which lasted through Stalinism into Trotskyism, and it was a political commitment that took over my whole intellectual life. And then finally, it was a very personal thing. My mother died of cancer very painfully, and out of these three things, the sort of emotional hatred of God, that he put himself up as an authority over me when I can manage my own life, thank you very much. I don't need to be told what to do. So I had this rebellious attitude to God. And in fact, I was an atheist. I didn't believe he existed, so I was arguing that way. And secondly, that I was looking to another answer for life, another answer to the meaning of life. That human life is perfectible, that it can be made perfect. So if Jesus is telling people that he can make life perfect if we give ourselves to him, I was saying, well, like Marx and communism generally, we believe that socialism marches forward to a perfected society. And these two kind of work together to make me an aggressive anti-Christian. Then one single fact of my life, my mother's death, just cut the ground from under my feet. I was no longer secure. I could talk, I could argue, I could do things in the world, but I had no grasp of my own life anymore. After my mother died, I realized that the one who gave me life is gone. And where's the force for my life to come from now without a mother? And this was something horrifying to me. So long before I came to understand that I needed Jesus in my life, I understood that I needed a mother. I needed another mother, second mother. And one was available. God gave me a second mother. I went to a Serbian monastery in Ballarat, in Australia, in Victoria, and there they have a wonderful icon of St. Mary. It's called the three-handed icon. She has two hands with which she holds Jesus, and there is a third hand painted on her body. This third hand was painted because St. John Damascene, the Greek writer who defended icons against iconoclasm, he was caught painting icons, and his hand was cut by the iconoclasts, and he was left to manage. And he prayed that night and fell asleep, and when he woke up, his hand was re-knit. St. Mary had performed this miracle for him. So whenever you see this three-handed icon, St. Mary has two hands holding Jesus and a third hand. This is the third hand that St. Mary gave to John Damascene. So when I saw this icon, it was at a moment of particular emotional distress for me. I was mourning my mother. I was unsure of how I can sustain my life, how I can hold myself up. By what force or what power do I exist? See, when you are a Christian, now we are Christians, we are conscious that God is a power. God holds us up, right? But without God, when you have no God in your life, when you don't know God, you don't know Jesus, you don't know any force outside yourself, everything devolves on you. It's all on you. You have to do it. And I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't manage it. I needed someone to help me, someone to hold me, someone to hold me physically, to comfort me. And I didn't have. And I was in distress. Then when I finally came to this icon, in front of this icon in the Serbian monastery, St. Mary was on the wall, and I approached the icon, as I saw the others doing. And all of them made a metania, they bowed down, made a prostration in front of the icon. And I thought, well, I should do the same. Since I'm here, I should do what they do. And so I made a prostration in front of the icon. And I start to cry. I start to void my feelings, to give out my feelings about needing someone to help me, someone to hold me, someone to be with me. And how I'd lost my mother. I had no more mother. I was just vocalizing these things in my mind. And I started to cry. So I stood up. I was supposed to do 3 metanias. I did the second metania. And I heard a voice saying, "I will be your mother." And I thought it was one of the ladies from the church who was heard me, saw me in distress and come to give me comfort. There was nobody there. And then I made the 3rd metania, and again I heard the voice. The voice said, "I will be your mother." So at this point, I thought, hang on, I'm hearing the voice in front of me. But I'm looking behind me, I'm thinking that there's someone behind me, but no, there must be someone in front of me. If the voice is coming to me in front of me, why would I look behind me? So I looked up. And that day, St. Mary came forward from the icon. She emerged from the icon. The icon remained fixed on the wall. But her trunk, the first part of her body, leant forward out of the icon and looked down at me, and she said, "I will be your mother." From that moment, all my pain, all my anxiety, all my mourning, my grief, everything disappeared. I was calm. I was happy. I was in love. I was looking at her. I was feeling I have someone. Then of course she started to send light out from her face. The light kind of covered me, and then she disappeared. The icon was remaining, of course, on the wall. So my life has been turned around by this vision, this apparition, which St. Mary gave to me, and since that day she has never left me. I've had I could tell you many stories. We don't have time today, but there are many stories of times when she has helped me, of times when she has come to me when I needed her. And this was God's wisdom, that he could not catch me by argument. God could not catch me by sending someone to discuss with me theology, or someone to tell me, look, Jesus, the Bible is true because of this and this. That wouldn't impress me. What I needed was love. And the only person who could give me the love was St. Mary. And God sent her to give me the love that I needed. After that, he worked with me. From the time that I knew St. Mary till the time I come to accept Jesus, this was a long period. But God was working inside me to prepare me to accept Jesus. So I think it's a life-changing event that I'm talking about. St. Paul had his on the Damascus Road when God knocked him from his horse and spoke to him. So not all Orthodox people have it because they are born Orthodox. Yeah. And they grow up in the cradle of the church. So they have fathers, they have monks and nuns around them, they have saints' stories. They have a whole wealth of Christian reality around them. But I didn't have it. I'd been for 10, 15 years atheist. And I was empty vessel. And it was only then that St. Mary could fill me up with her love. And that prepared me to accept the love of Christ. ultimately.